If you're not using text-based editing to edit your videos, you're wasting time. Let me explain and I'll show you how to do it. Adobe Premiere Pro has a newish feature. Well, it's new to me because I just started using it, but it's been live for I think about a year, and it is changing the game with how we edit videos and tell better stories through video. I'm typically someone who may be editing wedding videos, interviews, or simple YouTube videos like this. A lot of the time when you're editing something that's a little bit more long form with a lot of dialogue, it can be very time consuming to have to listen to all of that, edit by ear, or you can transcribe it and kind of do the editing on paper and then recreate it on the timeline. But this feature allows you to do the transcription and the cutting all at once. You edit it by text, and it's incredible. I'm so excited about this. This is the best feature that I think has ever been created. And this is the type of AI that I can really get behind. That's just, it's work smarter, not harder. It's a great tool, and it's making video editing just so much more efficient. Okay, let me show you how to do it. So I'm in Adobe Premiere and I'm going to show you how this works. Now I'm just using a wedding ceremony as an example. I think that this is a great feature for interview style stuff, but this, sometimes when you're editing wedding ceremonies, there's either a little dialogue or there's a lot. And sometimes when there's a lot, you have to, make cuts and decisions. And if you're someone like me who gets a little emotionally attached to your interviews or videos or anything like that, it can actually be helpful to edit by text because then you don't hear some of it, but it's also important to still listen because if there's different, ways the words are delivered or emotion that goes with it, that's important to realize. But this is great for getting rough cuts going. So first thing you want to do, there's different ways you can do this. I've already got this in the timeline because I synced it up already. But you can also do it from the source monitor, and I'll explain the difference in a little bit. But first thing you'll want to do is to create a transcript. So I'm just going to click on this and get it going. So we're transcribing. So as you open Premiere and get everything set up, I already have this set up to be text-based editing, but you'll just go over here up to this Workspaces tab and hit text-based editing. That should be there, and this whole thing will pull up. So our transcription is done, and you can see here that these words are highlighted. And what is amazing about this, so I'm going to click here, and this is moving. Okay. What's great about this is that as you're reading this and okay, I'm not going to use this part because it's just the intro. We don't need it for the actual highlight, whatever. You can right click, cut, and extract, or Control X was the shortcut for that. And that will cut it and do the ripple delete. You can also do the lift. And if you do this, it's going to leave a gap so that you still have this space. And it also highlights the pauses, which for rough cuts, sure, it's great, but I think be mindful because sometimes pauses are natural with the way people speak. So I wouldn't cut all of those out, but just, yeah, it's your video, your creativity, you do you. So another great tool right here is you can change what words are being highlighted. This is just on all text. You can go filler words and it will highlight filler words. So I'm assuming like things like that. So if I wanted to get rid of all of these filler words, you can just hit delete and it'll give you the option to extract, lift, delete all, or just delete one. Like I said, I'd be careful with that because sometimes it may mess up the natural way we speak because you don't want a ton of filler words, but sometimes it makes sense to have it in order for it to sound real. But anyways, great thing for rough cuts. I'm trying not to get too technical on that side of things, but it's just something that I've been aware of as I'm trying to cut all of it. Sometimes when you read, it doesn't always translate the best when it sounds. So. But another thing, so it's got filler words, pauses, so it'll highlight those. It's the same thing, hit delete. You can delete all of them if you want it to be really quick. You can even search specific words. So say I'm looking for the word kiss, the big moment at the end of the video, and I am ready to insert that into my highlight video. If I have not already pulled it, you can cut it, or you can just copy it over and say you're in a different sequence and just paste it, and then it's ready to go. I love that. I love it. And it makes it even more efficient if you use the shortcuts. This, I think, is the apostrophe for extract and the semicolon for lift. You can change those to whatever you need, but see how that just did that? And it ripple deleted it instead of just copying it. As I like to have kind of a basis of kind of an untouched full length, like for the ceremony at least, because I tend to deliver that as well. But this is great for when I'm taking those pieces out for the highlight video. If you're trying to piece different parts of an interview together that are on the same topic or the same question, it's very easy to just grab that, paste it, copy, and just kind of build it from there, and that it's such a great workflow. You can even do this just from the source monitor. Let me show you that. I'm just going to take a second to transcribe this just as is. So you can select it from source, transcribe it, and this way you can kind of, instead of just having it from a long form that's already on the timeline and you're cutting, which works great if you want to do that way, you can just insert as you find the pieces you want. Okay, transcription is done on this one. So this is just coming from the source. It's not already in the sequence. So say you want to just take this text where it looks like they start getting into the ceremony, you can hit insert and it will just paste it right in there. So if you just have these different pieces that you want, you can kind of just build it based off of story that way, instead of going from everything on the timeline and cutting it. It's great. And this has a shortcut. Is it the comma? I think it's the comma. I like to make my own shortcuts. Yeah, it's comma. But so you end it. Boom. Take that last piece. You've got a video right there. This is just kind of a really raw example. If you want to make captions from this specific transcript, you go create captions here. And that is like if you already edited them and you don't want to, you know, make captions on the previous transcript and then have to do other edits. But that's basically it, and I am so excited for this feature, and I'm so excited to get using it. I encourage you to go play around with this if you have Premiere, if that's what you use. It's very easy to work with. The transcription's accurate. The shortcuts are there. It kind of takes, you know, your own preference on how you want to do it, but I love this feature. What do you think? Have you used it? Has it made your workflow more efficient? And if you haven't and used Premiere, I recommend that you go give this a try right now, because storytelling is the most important thing in video, and if it doesn't make sense, it's not going to be a great video. So this is just one tool that is making it so much easier. I remember when I was doing a documentary and I transcribed everything and I was doing it by paper, and that's typically how you do it, or you do it like in a Google Doc or whatever with the time codes, but you just X out everything that you don't want. You have to, and you kind of build it that way. This is that, but just less work. You don't have to do it twice, and I love it. Happy editing. That's all I've got. Quick little tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. If you liked this video, make sure to like it so I know that people are actually liking the videos I'm putting out, and I can make more of them if needed. But feel free to subscribe if you want to stick around for more video editing tips like this and advice for video storytelling, because I think story, as I mentioned, is one of the most important things for video, and I love to talk about the different ways that you can make your videos more impactful. So that's what I love to talk about, as well as news that impacts creators, all of that great stuff. I'm just another creative person, video obsessed person that wants to share my knowledge, and hopefully I can help anybody out there who's wanting to get into video and also manage the crazy noise of all the overwhelming content that's on social media. I'd love to be able to help people out if it's something that I can offer. And that's all I got for today. See you around. Thomas. I'm typically someone who may be editing words.